This process was set up in December of 1980. So as a result, if all of the exposures occurred before 1980, there really is no secondary requirement for Medicare, and there's really no need to report those claims. However, if there's any exposure after that date, theoretically some of those medical costs are recoverable under the Medicare secondary payer. The other key variable in this is that the settlements have to be greater than $5,000 as of right now, partially, I think, to limit the number of claims that get reported. As time goes on, that's a bit of a sliding scale, and I believe by 2014 there is no dollar threshold, so every settlement needs to be reported. I think initially they have a bit of a threshold so that they reduce the amount of claims until they get the house in order, and then as the process becomes a bit smoother, they'll slide it to zero and everything needs to be reported. I think what you're going to see is at some point that date will be challenged because asbestos is a unique, and a lot of the mass torts are unique in that how do you define exposure? At this point, it's purely traditional insurance lingo exposure of if the person worked at a job site to a certain point, that's the end of the exposure. From a medical perspective, you may have some challenges to that, and I think if the government focused on it, there might be some different opinions, but as of right now, again, they're not drilling to that level of detail, so there's kind of more of a hard stop on that December 1980 date.